Adam Baynham writes, love the show and greetings from Cornwall in the UK. So why in America and the UK, why don't we watch a lot of Asian films like The Raid 1 and 2 Spirited Away? In my opinion, the best horror films in the last 20 years are Asian films. Why do we keep on remaking them into really crappy films? Why don't people just watch the originals?
Because they don't. You answered your own first question. Why do they remake them? Well, because the North American audience doesn't watch the original. And hey, let's be fair. Every once in a while, they knock a remake out of the park. Like whether it's a non-horror film like The Departed, whether it is a horror film, a lot of people love the original The Ring.
Yep.
That's, of course, a remake of an Asian horror film. And the reasons the Asian filmmakers seem to just nail it is there was a number of years where it just seems like they were the ones who understood that what you don't see can terrify you more than what you do see. And they kind of base their horror films on atmosphere and mood, which can just terrify you. And that's what made them so good at it, in my opinion anyway. I'm sure there's a lot of other different reasons. But the fact of the matter is just a lot of average North American filmgoers don't either A, want to read subtitles. It's not even just an Asian film thing. It's a European foreign film, whatever. And it's like, hey, if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. I don't get it, but that's fine. That's you. And so it is not the viewer's responsibility to make sure they like the right films. It is the film industry's responsibility to give to the audience what they want to see in many ways. And that's not a popular thing to say, but it's reality. So, I mean, it's just a shame. There are so many great, and like I said, I think this extends way beyond just Asian film. There are great Asian film. There's great Scandinavian film. There's great Swedish film. There's great, there's so much great film. Yes.
So amazing. I mean,
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's just a shame that a lot of people aren't going to get to appreciate that because for whatever reason, they can't get over. A lot of people just aren't wired that they can appreciate watching a story told from a completely different cultural context than what they live in, or having to read subtitles.
You nailed it with subtitles. I gotta say, I heard that when The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo came out, like a few months before it came out, a couple of my friends saw it at some film festival, said it was incredible, you have to see it. So when it came out, the day it came out, I remember taking a bunch of my friends with me. I was like, look, I can vouch for this film. I know it's a foreign film. You gotta check it out. And I don't remember if I said, I know it's a foreign film. So I brought like 7 of my friends, kind of hipstery friends, with me. And I was like, I vouch for this film. I heard it's amazing. We sit down, subtitles come on. I was prepared for it.
Did they throw stuff at you?
I got 5 friends with me who are like, yo, dude, what's up with the subtitles? I was like, and it's a slow movie too. If you've seen the original Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
so good, though.
The first hour is literally a lot of setup, and it's a lot of like, we're in a the Millennium newspaper and all this weird stuff. Like, it's taking its time to build this story. You don't get into it until almost 2 hours in, and they were uncomfortable, shifting seats. They were like, we might bail like an hour into it. I was like, just hang out, hang out, and then they totally got into it. And then after the movie was over, like, oh my God, it was amazing. So I look at it like that, as like, you always have to have patience with subtitle films, especially if you're not used to them, but they are so worth it. Because not only are you like drenching yourself in a total different culture, I mean, it's a whole new experience for you, because people make movies differently around the world because they live in different cultures, and that's a great way to appreciate it.
And I blame where we're at with society, because, it's all about faster and immediate, and, people are lazy in general, and they want it immediately, and I love that, but I also do have to be the mindset. Sometimes I don't want to watch a film like that, but if I go in really wanting that, and you're right, it's the culture, you lose that if you're dubbing it in a different language or whatever, and, I do think the remake question is brought up all the time, because we live in this age where the demand, obviously, they're always, out for money. They're not going to make these films if they don't think it's going to give them some monetary gain. But the truth is, which you bring up a lot, and I'm always the one who doesn't want all these remakes happening, but a lot of people don't see these original. But obviously the filmmakers who are adapting it saw how brilliant it was, that they want to bring it to this audience. So I get that it's a pure intention in the back, but at the same time, most of the time, I don't think the remakes are as good. Sometimes they are. But yeah, I mean, The Raid, those 2 films you discussed were incredible, and I think enough people do appreciate what they were, and you know, it kind of did cross, but yeah, we'll see if they ruin it.
I think it is one, you have to be in the right mindset to go into a movie that's subtitled. So for your friends that weren't coming in being like, I mean, this sounds lame, but I'm like, I go in, if I'm wearing my contacts or my glasses and I don't know I'm seeing a subtitled film, it makes a big difference for me. But I also think it's the big film companies and marketing that they put behind them. The Raid and The Raid 2, they're some of my favorite movies. I absolutely love them. I went with a bunch of people, but we all knew about the film on our own, like just watching Ong Bak film, like the Ong Bak and all those kind of films. So we went in knowing what we were gonna get.
So it was more fun though. I bet you're
yeah. Oh my gosh,
you know?
We were all yelling together. But I don't think that the film companies market in a way that the general person is like, oh, what's this movie about? You've got to know what you're going into. And so that's why I think too, when you do a remake, they get actors that people know. I mean, how many actors do people know from The Raid, you know, in America? And I think that's a big thing where it's like, we talk about even, you know, the comic book movies where it's like, put someone in it that people don't know, or like Star Wars, and how in an uproar everyone gets because they're like, I don't know who that person is. Like, so I think that's a big thing that really hurts subtitled films as well.
You know, it's funny too, because I remember a number of years ago, there was this phenomenon where they were starting to play some more foreign film in North American theaters, but people would leave and ask for their money back. And what started happening is a lot of theaters that would play those films would have like these big notices saying, this film, this 7 p.m. showing, this is a subtitle film. They have to let people know. I remember I had a friend in Canada once who didn't make it all the way through Hunt for Red October, gave up on it after about 15 minutes. Yeah, because all the stuff on the sub is all subtitled. Like, he didn't make it to the part where they transition it into English. And I'm like, you idiot. Okay, anyway.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.